Welcome to the Last Beer Show. Who's ready to make a beer show?
Yes. Let's make a beer show.
The Last Beer Show.
Let's make a beer show.
Sorry we're late.
By a week.
Sorry. It's my bad.
Sorry, and my bad.
As you can tell by my voice, I've been sick.
Yes. Same here. So
Oh man, I was a disaster.
if and we should cough at some point, forgive us.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna try and not do that. But it might. I'm trying to edit some out too.
Yes.
Which is a pain, but I had like 2 days with literally zero voice. It was brutal. I had to sit on the couch and do nothing. Play video games, work quietly, Netflix.
I have coughed my head off every night.
Do you scratch your throat when you cough and then you wind up coughing for
I
3
do.
extra weeks?
And I have been on a steady regimen of honey.
I should try that.
Apparently it's the thing to do. And so I've been doing the honey thing at night. And I feel like it's helped. But yes, I'm right there with you.
Dang. All right. Well, nobody wants to hear us talk about how sick we are, but
No.
I apologize for being late. That's all I was trying to get done there. All right. So it's a holiday season. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And I think we need to talk about gifts. We would be remiss if we didn't cover gifts for beer lovers. So
Because
this
your
is,
gifts.
and now
are
everybody
on my
listening to
list.
this is already a beer lover, right? A beer geek,
Exactly.
beer nerd, however you want to refer to yourself.
Yep.
So instead of dropping more versions of that, you know what to get people, but sometimes we don't think of all the things to ask for. People are like, what do you want for Christmas? Or what do you
Someone
want for New
just
Year's?
messaged me today.
What do you want?
It won't matter because those folks will have already purchased the gift, but they messaged me and said, hey, we have a mutual friend. I know to get him something for beer, but what should I get him?
Yeah, they do it all the time.
Yep.
So we're going to tell you what to get,
Exactly
what to ask. So sometimes you don't think of all the possibilities because when you're stuck on the spot, it's hard to think like, oh, I should have thought of that. Like 10 minutes later, be like, oh, I should have mentioned this. Oh, I should have mentioned that. So get out a pen or, your favorite note application of choice.
Yep.
And we're going to give you all the goods right here.
All the goods.
Right now.
Not some of the goods.
All the good gifts.
Yep.
And I'm going to start with the best one, the biggest one, the hardest one to get. So if someone gets this for you, you know they love you.
What is it?
Beer travel.
What?
Beer travel.
What?
Gift number one for me, man. Beer travel. Like tickets to an event and the flight.
Gotcha.
Right? Or gas money and a trip mapped out. Like,
That'd be a pretty awesome gift.
I've been gifted that before.
And
it's really tremendous because not only is it beer related, it's also time away. Like it's a chance to kind of take a couple days off from work or something, escape and travel and get out of your routine, right?
Yep.
Experience a new city so that's why I like beer travel. It's the biggest one. Look, it's expensive. Not everybody can do that. I get it. But, I think that is probably the biggest one. Like, you could say homebrew supplies. That's a pretty big gift too. But that can be hard for people that don't know how to homebrew to know what to get you, like a wort chiller or kegging supplies and things that are actually pretty darn expensive, right? Some of these things are $70 or $80, $100.
right.
But they don't necessarily know what's going to fit on your system. They don't know the ins and outs of it. So they just get you a gift card. Right.
I actually recommended a gift card to a local bottle shop.
Gift cards are great. Bottle shops are good. You know what my wife's really good at? She always buys me excellent craft beer for birthdays and Christmas and stuff like that. She walks into the bottle shop and says, my husband's a beer nerd. What? She always says whales. I taught her how to say whales.
Do you have any whales?
Yeah. And they think, first of all, that's funny. They always get a kick out of it. But then she's like, no, he's a big beer nerd. What should we get him? What's rare? What's new? What's off the wall? And they love that. They shine in that moment.
Yeah, of course.
The opportunity to serve that up and
like, be the hero
and show their beer geekdom is a really fun thing to do. I would love it. And it's fun because they're all great choices. They may not be the ones that I would have chosen in that bottle shop because, you know, when you're in there, you're like, oh crap, what did I want to get? And you're seeing all the labels and you're like, oh, you know what we need? Oh, you know what I like? Sometimes, you know, you don't put it all together in the heat of the moment.
In the heat of the moment.
I think you was singing a different song there.
No, it works. But yeah, you don't
Asia?
always think about it. I think that's exactly who it was. You don't always think about it. And then, you know, you get home and you realize you could have done something different.
Right. Another one I really like, and it's really easy stuff, right? The easy things, the simple things shouldn't be overlooked. Like some artisanal opener or glassware, books, t-shirts, stickers, socks, like all that stuff is amazing. That's excellent gift stuff right there. It's none of it's expensive necessarily most of the time. It's like, and it's, of course you like having that stuff, right? Like it's super simple, but you know, the more unusual, the better. Though that's not always easy for everyone to recognize if they're not beer geeks themselves.
True.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I think fresh roasted coffee is a great gift. It may not be beer related, but it is artisanal.
It is a commonly known thing that most craft beer folks are also huge into coffee. I had a gentleman that came and picked up some beer from me yesterday who saw my coffee setup and immediately went into a whole rant about...
They come out of the woodwork.
Why he was...
Like cockroaches.
Why he was such a big coffee fan.
That beer was good.
Yeah, so you want to talk about what it was?
Southern Grist. Acts of Caring.
Yep. Acts of Caring.
A sour IPA with lactose, tangerine, pineapple, and vanilla. Hopped with Motueka, El Dorado, and Mosaic. I'm not usually a big Mosaic fan, but this wasn't that heavy with Mosaic. But I've never had the Motueka
I love
that
Motueka.
I'm aware of.
It's a New Zealand hop. Super tropical fruits.
You love the Motueka?
Love Motueka.
Love the Motueka.
Yep.
You're just like saying it, Motueka.
Motueka.
That's a fun word to say. Motueka.
Motueka.
Motueka. That's a super fun word to say.
Super fun.
I would say actual beer. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with actual beer. Or artisanal openers are always welcome. Carriers sometimes. Like, you know, wooden 6-pack carriers or stuff for sharing. Some of those like leather ones you can get at a lot of stores actually now. Those are super cool.
Yep.
Great for sharing, especially if you're going to be leaving the house. You want to keep them organized and not rattling around. Like, those are pretty solid.
I saw one recently that fits on your bike.
Yeah, they get the bike when it like button it snaps on.
Yep.
And you put like a 750 in it.
That's a pretty cool one.
You get growler ones that fit on your bike too.
Yep. What are some other good gifts?
Like a growler koozie with a shoulder strap.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of those, and let me tell you, it's awesome.
Yeah, those are always good.
Beer
backpack coolers are always good.
You think?
Yeah, because I use them every time I go to a share. They're made by random people. I know that I think Coleman and Igloo make one that is kind of like looks like a backpack, but it's a cooler.
I'm sure Yeti has one for like $600.
I'm sure, and you get a sticker with it and everything.
How about just a Camelback and just the hose that comes over the shoulder so you can just partake while
that would
you're
work too.
Doing that. I had another one now. I can't remember because I made a joke. Damn it.
I was talking about the backpack cooler. The backpack cooler is a great one. Again, especially if you go to a lot of shares.
Yeah, true. So what else can you think of?
Glassware.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned
like
that
really
kind of
good
quickly in
glassware.
passing, but really good glassware isn't even really expensive. Like you can get really fine glassware for beer for like $8.
Yeah, no, this
It's
you
not
can get these Tekus for $15.
Yeah, and they're printed. Like you can get ones that are not printed for like half that.
Yeah, those are always good.
And they break, like they're really kind of thin and frail.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then also something else that is good that you wouldn't normally think about are snacks, like beef jerky and pretzels and things
Pretzels
to go along with it.
Maybe
if
some
you drink
like
a
spicy popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's good thought.
Because we definitely use them a lot.
Maybe cheeses
at shares,
like artisanal cheeses, maybe.
Yep.
Beer cheese.
Yep. Not easy being cheesy. This
With
episode
you, my
brought to you
friend,
by Cheetos.
I would argue that.
This episode was not brought to you by Cheetos.
I had Mountain Dew flavored Cheetos I bought a couple years ago online, and they were all right.
That sounds like a hot mess.
They were all right. I had to wait like a month. They came over from China on like apparently via, you wouldn't call it ground, I guess boat shipping.
Yeah,
right.
Boat shipping.
And took like a month. I was like, where the hell are my Cheetos?
I'm waiting for the because we're craft beer is in this whole renaissance of just giant wacky flavors and stuff. I'm waiting for the hot Cheetos flavored IPA.
They'll do it. Like Pepsi
somebody
will
will
get
do
together with InBev. And
Omnipolo
it'll come
will
out
do
from Goose Island or something.
Yeah,
Wicked Weed will do it.
it'll happen.
You know who'll do it? Funky Buddha. They sold out big time.
Yes, they did. Sadly, yes, they did.
All right, we want to move on to some news.
Yeah. Beep 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 beep. In the news.
Is that our news sound?
It just is now.
Yeah. So, the Trillium story. I know we talk about them a little bit. Probably everybody's sick of it, but they keep doing things.
Yeah.
So they that story broke. The pitchforks came out on social media because they had someone go on to BA forum and put them on blast for lowering some people's salaries, and it didn't go over too well with that person. So then social media pulled out the pitchforks. A lot of people are upset about it, and they came out and apologized. They came out and said that they've adjusted everyone's salaries. They came out with like multiple apology letters, which in general is probably not a really good look.
Right.
Right. But
there's a little bit of they came out with they actually came out with a statement. I believe it was today.
It was the second or third statement today, wasn't it?
I'm not sure, but I know that it came out and it was sort of still apologetic, and it laid out some new policies that they have put in place internally as it relates to wages and salary and how their folks are paid across the board. Now, I actually applauded it. I retweeted it from my own personal social media accounts because I applaud it. Some people complained because it was reactionary and that they felt they were shamed into making these changes and should have made them before. But I mean, at the end of the day, those folks who work there are going to make a fair and better wage. So I applaud that. I don't care how they ended up getting it. I'm just glad that they're going to get paid fair, because I believe, and I've said it. I said it on another post, but I believe that fair wages and pay is a giant issue rampant in craft beer.
That's true
to a very large degree, and no one talks about it. And the fact
it goes largely unspoken.
Exactly.
That even there are popular breweries that don't pay brewmasters and head brewers very much.
Agreed.
They don't pay marketing people very much.
And as a matter of fact, when this
don't make enough money.
Yeah, when this happened, somebody who works for one of our local breweries, who worked for one of our local breweries, went on a thread in a different Facebook group and shared their experience about working at this local brewery. Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy crap! Like this is going to get really ugly. Actually, I don't think people really caught wind of it. I was probably deleted before people really caught wind of it. But what it let me know is, based on my experience and the experience that I'm hearing in multiple places throughout the country,
Right.
That fair pay and wages in the craft beer industry is an issue. And I actually was looking around at some salaries, just to kind of get some sort of understanding. And it's really interesting to me that in a lot of breweries, some of the people who make the least money are the people who actually brew it, which is kind of crazy to me, because it's almost like the 3-tier system where...
Do they have ownership stakes? Sometimes you don't make as much because you got to pay other people.
Sometimes maybe, but I venture to say it's not the majority. But if you understand how the 3-tier system works, the guy who makes the biggest bulk of the cash is not the people who brew it.
Oh, the distributors make most of the money in alcohol, period.
Right, which is crazy to me, because they didn't make it.
Well, it's not a competitive marketplace. They have franchise laws.
Yeah.
It's not fair marketplace.
Yeah. So I think that it's a bigger issue that we will hear more about. I think that it got giant play because people love and are big fans of Trillium. Trillium is obviously one of the biggest kind of... I don't want to call them a hype brewery, because I love Trillium's beers, and they're
not hyped because they actually do make good beer, but they're trending. They've been on fire.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely in that realm of Northeast IPAs. They're one of the top 3 or 4 brewers that are known for that. Actually one of the best beers I had all year. Their Permutation 57.
Moving on, Scofflaw. Another brewery we wind up talking about quite a bit because they have a knack for finding their way into the news. So, Good Beer Hunting published an article, and we know the writer. He's been on the show before, Austin Ray, and talked to Brickstore Pub, which is a local brewery. Not that everybody listening cares about local pub. Not that everybody cares about local pubs for us, but I would say that. It was a story because they've stopped serving Scofflaw. So, and I'm sure there are breweries, not pubs. I said it again. That cold, man, my head is thick.
Yeah.
There are pubs probably that aren't comfortable serving beer from other breweries that are as punk rock, like say Brewdog, right?
Correct.
And there have been others that have inappropriate names and labels that some businesses, whether a bottle shop or a pub, are not comfortable associating with. So when Brickstore came out and said they didn't want to serve Scofflaw because the staff was sick and tired of answering questions from customers about the latest rumors or what's going on in that brewery, they just found themselves in conversations they didn't want to have. I thought it was interesting. They found 2 other pubs in the area that were basically doing the same thing, but they wanted to remain anonymous. They didn't want any blowback or anything like that, and which is understandable, because that Scofflaw just makes themselves a third rail, right? So,
yep.
I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, but it seems like, I'll put the link in the show notes. I encourage you to read the article. It's really well thought through.
I think that there is a lot to say around why those folks chose to make that decision. I will say that I know several people that work there. They're incredibly good people.
I know some good folks there too.
The owners is incredibly friendly. So I do know their perception, and I do hear things here and there. I can understand how those businesses would make that decision.
They're entitled to.
Yeah, they're entitled to.
Say.
And I think that you definitely with the BrewDog thing that happened over in the UK, whose fault it actually was, notwithstanding, it made it really hard and frustrating for folks to kind of to show their support. And and I've said it before. I actually said it to Reed Ramsey at Beer Street Journal. It was an incredibly frustrating thing to see because no one really won. The guys from Scofflaw didn't win. The BrewDog folks didn't win. The PR agency that they hired, Frank, didn't win. No one really won.
Nobody wins in this either.
Whatever happened.
Scofflaw's not pouring in a couple of popular pubs.
Exactly.
Those pubs don't get to serve good beer, which Scofflaw does make good beer. So it's unfortunate, but
it's very unfortunate.
They're all entitled to conduct their business however they want. So that's the end of the news. You got to do the news.
Beep, 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 beep. That's news. The end of the news.
You need like legit news intro and outro tracks.
Yes.
So before we segue, well, I guess this is the segue.
Yeah, you segued.
Shout out to a friend at work.
Thanks, friend at work.
For sharing Highland Brewing out of Asheville, North Carolina. Their Cold Mountain. It's a legendary spiced ale. It's a limited release and it's really good. It's got a lot of hazelnut, vanilla, caramel, hazelnut. It's got a lot going on. It's good, really good.
You should check out the branding on there because this is their new branding that you see, their new logo.
Their shelf wall looks much better now with this new branding.
I like it. I think it definitely looks clean.
They used to have like a lot of like kilt themed labels that were probably a little too busy, but now they definitely have more of a focus on an updated logo and type treatments that are easier to read.
Yep.
Agreed. You know what I haven't had yet this winter season that I usually seek out is that Christmas ale from Great Lakes.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
Now that you can sit on for a year because it is hot.
I actually
it's like 12,
am
13.
looking forward to some Sierra Nevada Celebration.
I saw that recently.
Another really good,
very, very, very
seasonal
good
beer.
I had the Course and Dunk Christmas ale the other day, and it's really good. Daggum, those Belgians can make them some beer, can't they?
It can.
Ooh, child.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
So you went to Nashville. This is the travel segment.
I did go to Nashville. I did go to Nashville.
Nash Vegas.
I went to Nash Vegas, and I visited a brewery that I've kind of grown to love in my visits there.
Dude, we've talked a lot of smack about this brewery. We've talked it up.
Oh, not a lot
multiple
of
times.
Yeah. But yes, I definitely went to Southern Grist. I like that they do lots of different styles. I like that they, they don't focus on any one particular style. They kind of do lots of different styles, and
they take big risks.
They do actually, and the beer that we started out with, I feel like is a risky beer. It's a sour IPA. I feel like the sour IPA though, with these flavors, I feel like it's
so hot right now.
Could be a risk, but I know that they're hot.
Anybody's brewing a sour IPA now, and dropping lactose into it.
I feel like we could thank Hudson Valley for a lot of that.
Some of them are good. Some of them are cans of farts.
Hudson Valley is they are killing it with that style. It's interesting because I did not go to.
You didn't go to Bearded
Iris. I didn't go to Bearded Iris, and the reason why I did not go to Bearded Iris, which I love Bearded Iris's IPAs.
Big news though.
But the reason why I did not go there is because we can actually buy.
They distribute to our area now, so
exactly.
It's not as fun going to the brewery because you can get most of the beers anyway.
Yep, I don't need to carry them back. And I picked up a lot.
If you're going to travel, you definitely go to a brewery that doesn't distribute to your area because then you get a bunch of stuff you wouldn't normally get, right?
That's right. Yep. So that was fun, and again, they're doing a great job. They've opened up a new brewery there, a new brewery and tap room in Nashville, which is there if you get a chance to go.
Not that you're a wheel chaser anymore. You've turned over a new Hopleaf.
I am slowing my roll, as the kids say these days.
They say that?
That's what they say.
I say that.
Slow my
and
roll.
I'm old, so I'm pretty sure the kids don't say it.
Old. But yes, I am
new Hopleaf turned over.
Slowing my roll these days. I had a share. Not that should come as a surprise to anyone, but I had a share about 3 weeks ago, and it ended up being, as they do, a really big, huge,
it's crazy
kind of
house party, like Animal House. It's a rager.
Way out of hand share.
A bunch of affluent craft beer geeks getting wild.
Yep, that's
breaking
right.
Glasses.
We
artisanal
had
stemware.
We had Ed Valenti come up from Tampa.
Yeah.
He's one of the best home brewers in Florida. We had John Sherry of Little Cottage. Little Cottage is one of the biggest, most kind of, I don't want to say hype because that would denote that it's not worth it, but legit. One of the biggest hype brewers in the state for a very good reason, because he makes really good beer. So he came, and John Sherry, and
name dropping fool over here.
And yeah, we had a great little turnout. We shared a bunch of beers, but it got crazy out of hand, and I just felt like at the end of it, I started thinking about things and realizing that shares with 100 beers, it's too crazy, and I try to figure out how we can make it less crazy, and unfortunately, they beg to be that crazy, and so, and the other thing is, I realized that the risk of somebody leaving my house and
hammered,
inebriated, and driving puts that responsibility on me.
Not a good look.
And I just cannot. I can't do it. It's not worth it. And I would hate for
it's not healthy for the community.
Yeah, definitely not healthy for the community. And I would feel horrible if something happened from somebody leaving my house. So
absolutely.
I decided that I was not going to host any of the large shares anymore. I may do some small shares.
Small shares. What's a small share?
6 or 8 people.
6 or 8.
Yeah.
Like they got to be able to fit at a picnic table.
6 or 8 people, and I'll definitely be, very. We're not doing 100 bottles and cans. We're going to be very smart about it. One of the other things that I realized too, and this is not something I really talked about when I shared it, but it's not uncommon for us to end these shares and still have half bottles of beers like Mexican Cake or Black Ops or any number of beers, you can name it.
Right.
And the challenge is, again, because there's so many beers, a lot of beers just don't even get finished, and they just sit here and get dumped out at the end of the night. And it's wasteful. And so, again, I just made the decision that I'm just not going to do it. And the other reason is that I know that I want to be healthier, and I've chosen to kind of stop drinking as much beer. So I might drink a beer a week.
It's a good call.
But yeah, I feel like
drink
that will
like
definitely help.
One good beer all week, sit down, relax, enjoy it.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And Saturday maybe 3.
I've gotten to the point where I just if I want it, I'll have it, and if I don't,
right.
I
started getting up early and exercising, and then I started drinking like a lot less.
Yeah,
a lot less, because you just can't get up early and do that if you've had a bunch of beers the night before.
Well, I hope that you're exercising for me, because I need it.
I mean, you start pretty simple, right? Like, just go for a nice long walk.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. It's pretty low impact.
I need it.
You can do it, man.
But yeah.
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, man.
I feel much better about it. I feel better about it. All my friends were incredibly supportive of it. Even the people who attend these shares on a regular basis, they all have pretty much said, I completely agree and support you, and so I feel really good about it.
Well, I do, man. Hundo, get it.
Thank you.
Get it. You're doing another thing. You're gonna set a goal. You're making. You know what you're doing here. You're an overachiever, right? You're getting ahead of New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. Plus, at the end of the day, who knows how many of these I will actually follow through on. So
You will.
I'm going to play the odds. I'm going to set a whole bunch of goals, and then maybe I'll follow through with some of them.
Like playing a conga.
Yeah. Like, come on, shake your body, baby. Play that conga.
You're going to play bongos, a cajon.
I'm going to take some percussion lessons. I was at a concert this weekend in Nashville.
Do it.
Said, you know what? I'm gonna be on that stage next year, with a
band
that has won 8 Grammys.
You're gonna call the band and be like, guys, have me on the stage, and they're gonna be like, what?
Hey, just trust me on this.
Trust me. I can play a wicked bongo.
I've been playing, taking lessons all year.
I can play the bongos.
Yep. So I'm gonna do it.
Do it, man. Set your goals. Aim high.
Yep.
Well, I don't have any goals for next year.
It's early.
Yet.
Got plenty of time.
I'm still thinking about them.
Got plenty
I still
of time.
don't know what I'm putting on my Christmas list. A couple of things we mentioned. I could use more beer socks. Not going to lie.
Beer socks?
I've only got a couple of pairs of beer socks left. And I like fun. You know, you got to have fun socks, man. If your sock game isn't strong, I got to question your commitment.
I don't have any beer socks.
Beer socks, man. That's where it's at. And then, you know, I could use some new glassware, stems, the whole shebang. And, you know, a good t-shirt goes a long way. Simple.
I do like some good brewery t-shirts.
You know, good brewery t-shirt. That's about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could use, you know what I need? You know what I need? And I told the wife this, but I'm going to narrow her search a little bit, I need a new Bluetooth speaker.
Okay.
Because mine is hosed.
Okay.
And so that's something I put on my list. You know, we got a kid, so I'm like, Santa, it's a Santa list we put on the whiteboard. He's going to read it when he comes in.
Yeah.
Because
Santa wifey.
No, nobody, I mean, post. You don't really mail anything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I emailed him.
they have a slot. Like there's a slot like in the mall, this box where you write a letter to Santa and you put it in there. Like by the, where you do the pictures with Santa.
Yeah. They
got a box where you put your wish list in there. So we've done that too. Like she's all excited.
Well, she's at that good age.
Yeah. Right. I guess that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
So, you know what we should do? We don't disagree on a lot of stuff. So we're probably pretty uninteresting to listen to. Like,
we do disagree on Rausch beers.
Like sometimes, I don't know how you don't love Rausch beer.
I can't do it.
It's so stupid.
Cannot do it.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Sorry.
You love smoked everything. Why not smoke malt?
Do Rausch beers.
Delicious.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of good ones. But the good ones are very good.
It's like drinking an ashtray.
It is not. It's like drinking bacon.
Mm.
Bacon.
I like bacon.
I'm going to trick you. I'm going to bring one in.
No.
I made the best bacon this morning. It was like, I got this thick cut stuff from the grocery. I don't buy it all the time. When it's on sale, I grab it.
I like the thick cut stuff.
I've been doing it in the mornings. So I don't eat too many carbs, right?
Right.
Just a couple of beers every once in a while. So just a couple of strips of bacon and a boiled egg.
Works.
It's good. It sticks with you. All right, let's wrap this up. This
wrap
is
it up.
Completely uninteresting.
I'll take it. Wrap it up.
All right, peace.
See you later, guys.
Bye. If you have a question or something you would like us to discuss, drop us an email, sip@lastbeershow.com, or hit us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at The Last Beer Show. A reminder that we are proud members of the ABV Network. Go to abvnetwork.com to see all the amazing podcasts, or go to your podcast app of choice, search for something like The Last Beer Show, The Firewater Review, The Bourbon Daily, among others. And if you really want to have a good time, go to Instagram and follow the hashtag ABV Network Crew. There's always all kinds of stuff happening on there, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, thanks for listening. Peace. Oh, wait. One more thing. Please do us a solid and go to iTunes, rate the show. We would be extremely grateful. Thank you very much. Thanks again for listening.